Good morning, everybody. Probably about a minute late here coming on. I just got sidetracked a little bit. Be sure that you say hello when you come on. And I'm going to give a moment for everybody to get here before I start. It's a beautiful day here in Arkansas. And I'm just looking at my Wi-Fi strength. It's not real strong, but I think it's okay. Okay. Let me go ahead and introduce myself. Like I said, I'm creating cards with Debbie, and my name is Debbie Foster. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and I'm located in Bismarck, Arkansas. And I want to welcome you here today. Be sure that you like and share the video also, and tell your friends about me. I'd love to have them come join us. All right, I'm going to turn my camera around, and we'll get started here. Let me get my face out of the way and we'll do the tabletop instead, my desktop. Like I said, I'm creating cards with Debbie, and you can shop with me at www.debbiefoster.stampinup.net. And I'm going to bring that banner up and show you. It's scrolling across the bottom. And if your order is under $150, the March host code is TU9DARMV. And that's also scrolling across the bottom if you miss it. If you have any questions or anything you want to email me about, you can reach me at my email address, which is creatingwithdebbie179@gmail.com. And I don't know if I have a banner for that one or not. I don't see one. But it's creatingwithdebbie179@gmail.com. Or you can private message me, whichever you prefer. Let me bring our paperwork over here and we'll get started. We've got some new things going on right now I want to tell you about. And the first one is our paper pumpkin. We started brand new 3 months viewing of it. It says subscribe to Paper Pumpkin for a monthly all-inclusive crafting kit that's a fun surprise. Each kit includes a photopolymer stamp set, classic Stampin' Spot, and step-by-step instructions to complete exclusive paper craft projects, including cards, tags, and gift packaging. Okay, so April started 2 days ago on the 10th, or the 11th, I guess. It says from March 11th until April 10th, you can sign up for the April Paper Pumpkin Kit, and that's called Delicate Wings. And let me see if I have a better picture of that. I do. Here's a bigger image of it. So it says partial pop-ups and elegant foil designs. It's called Delicate Wings, and you can subscribe until April 10th for this one. And then in May, it's The Best There is what it's called. And then in June, Life is Sweet. It's not really giving us a picture of that one. It's going to be kind of a surprise. But here's the May Paper Pumpkin, or the April, I guess. You have until May to sign up for that, starting April 11th. And then they're also got some quilting dies that they're going to be adding on that you can order those as an add-on to go with all 3 months, April, May, and June. And it has a butterfly. Well, it's got the outer edge, and then it's got the inner edge. And then it's got the, I'm not sure what kind of a rectangle that would be. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know what it would be called, but it's kind of a pretty die cut. We can use a lot of that with more sentiments. And then we have a thanks die that cuts out the thanks. and that goes along with the June. The butterflies go along with the April one, and then this label here goes with the May. So you might want to add that onto your order so you have those to use along with all your kits the next 3 months. And let me get things out of the way here. And we've got some new online exclusives going on right now. So see our entire offering of essential craft supplies in the online store. So just go to my store that's scrolling across the bottom there and click on the online exclusives tab, and you can see all the online exclusives that have been added. We've got a cute little latte bundle. I may do something with that next week with my live. And then we've got zinnias, and then a little wagon with all the goodies that go along with that. And let me get this out of the way. But I printed out all the online exclusives, and there is many, many, many. So it's not just this new ones that have come out. It's going to show you all the online exclusives that you can order. So if you have any questions, reach out to me, and I'd be very happy to help you with anything that's troubling you. And I want to remind everybody, too, that April 30th is coming up real soon here. And our mini catalog, the January to April, is going to expire April 30th. And also our annual catalog retires that same time, April 30th. So you want to watch for our last chance list and what's going to be retiring here. We should be getting all that coming in very shortly here. All right, so I'm thinking I am ready to start. And let me bring up my comments and see if anybody has commented. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Today I'm going to be working with one of those online exclusives. And, well, I'm going to be working with a couple of them, I think. Let me get this out of the way. But it's called the Painted Lavender. You can get as a bundle with the dies. You'll save 10% that way. And then also the Perennial postage and the dies. So that's what we're using today. So I want to get started here. Let me move some things out of the way here. Get my instructions over here. And I'm kind of debating, should we start with maybe with our fun fold? Let's do our fun fold first. It's the first one in my instructions. So let's go ahead and start with that one. It's beautiful paper too. It's called the Perennial Lavendar. And trying to get a good view of it so you can see it really good. Guess about right there. It looks good. It's the Perennial Lavendar. And I'm thinking, no, this isn't an online exclusive. Let me. This might be. No, I told you wrong. This is in the mini catalog. Let me show you where that is. I was thinking it was an online exclusive, but I was wrong. I take that back. And page 23 of your mini catalog. Okay, here it is. I kind of jumped ahead of myself. Next week, I'm going to be using the online exclusives. So it's page 23. So you can get it as a, I think this comes, yeah, you can get it as a suite and get everything, or you can get everything separately, or as a bundle on the stamp and dies. Very, very pretty. I love everything on here. We're going to be using the butterflies and both bundles and the paper. And I'm thinking I'm also using the gems. Don't quote me just yet. I'm not sure. I think we are on one of our cards. All right, so I got that straightened out and corrected. So let's go on with our fun fold here. It says big hugs, and it opens like this. And it says big hugs, you mean the world to me. So let's go ahead and get started with that. I'm going to have to bring in my paper trimmer so we can do some scoring. But I've already cut the paper to size, so I've saved a little time there. Okay, we're going to be using Highland Heather as our paper color choice. And it measures, this one measures 4 1/4 inches by 11 inches. And I'm going to score it at 2 3/4 inches and 5 1/2 inches. So let's go ahead and do that. And I can take off my little note here, my sticky. And just making sure I've got the paper going the right direction here. So let's start at the 5 1/2 first and get that cutting blade out of the way. We don't want to cut by mistake. Who's ever done that? I have. Easy to do. And again at 2 3/4 inches, which is right there. All right, we're going to set that aside. We're going to go ahead and bring in our smaller piece, which is 3 by 9. And we're going to score that at 3 6. So let's pull our little note off of there. And it was at 3 inches. And again at 6 inches. This is giving my shoulder a workout today. And we're going to grab our bone folder and we're going to score those fold lines. And let's see if I can find a clean bone folder. I guess they're not too bad. So I'm going to start with our larger piece here, and I'm going to fold that on the score line, and I'm going to just make sure that it's straight here. And then I'm going to open that, and I'm going to fold this one on the score line. And the reason I opened that is because if you fold it on the score line and then you burnish that, you're going to leave a line on this background here. So I open it up all the way. It's a little bit of advice to everybody. That way you don't leave a mark on your cardstock that you don't want. Okay, so here's our little Z fold. I guess it is called a double Z fold. So there's our large card base. And now we're going to do the smaller one. And we're going to fold that too on all the score lines. And I'm going to fold this one the opposite direction. And again, I'm going to open that just in case. Okay, so there's our other Z fold. All right, and put that over there so I don't lose it. And I'm going to bring out our bits and pieces here if I don't drop them. I did most of the die cutting ahead of time to save some time here. All right, let's start with our large card. We'll do that first. Okay, we've got a mat of the Gorgeous Grape, and that measures 4 1/8 inches by 5 3/8 inches. And then we've got a Designer Series paper, which is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And I'm just going to glue those together. So I'm going to take off my instructions here. And bring over our Tombow glue. See, both sides of this paper is gorgeous. It's hard to hide one side of it when both sides are so pretty. All right, and we're going to place that on our mat, our Gorgeous Grape mat, and we're just going to have a tiny border going around. So let me get this straightened out a little bit. Hopefully it hasn't stuck yet. And looks pretty good. Not real straight, but it's good enough. All right, now this one's going to go onto this back layer. So we'll go ahead and attach that. And get that out of the way. And I'm going to watch my side over here. I'm not going to pay attention to the fold side that much. Is that straight? I guess that's straight. All right, so we've got that glued down to the inside of our card. And get my bearings here. And then I've got two more of the Gorgeous Grape, and these are our mats that are going to go on our front panels. And those measure 2 5/8 inches by 4 1/8 inches, and we need 2 of those. Let me take my instructions off of there. And then I've got our Designer Series paper, 2 of those, which measure 2 1/2 by 4. And I didn't do them both the same. I did this pattern. It's going to go on the front, and this is going to go on our inside panel. Let's take our instructions off of that. And we'll start attaching those. Trying to make sure I don't mess up here. Okay, hope everybody's doing well today. I'm doing good. I've got a busy week ahead of me. It's already started out busy yesterday. I had physical therapy, and today is my live, which I had to change from Wednesday to Tuesday because I have an appointment tomorrow. So, and Thursday it's back to physical therapy again. So I think I might have Friday off. Maybe. But that can change. You know how that goes. All right. And this, oops, almost dropped that. It's going to go on to our other mat, Gorgeous Grape. All right. I'm going to glue this one on the inside first because I want to line up our mats, make sure that they match up. Make sure our mat matches up. All right. I'll put that down there. Get that straight. Looks good. All right, so that's the inside panel. And now we're going to do this outside panel the same way. If you're watching this later on YouTube, when I load it up to YouTube, be sure that you click that subscribe button. And also, I think there's a like button there you can click on. So I'd appreciate that. We can use all the viewers that we can get. All right, so we're going to set that aside. We're going to bring over this other one, the Z fold, and I'm just making sure I've got it going the right direction. Yes, it's the right way. Now we've got, don't lose my pieces here. I think I might be missing one. Am I missing? Oh, okay. No, that goes for the inside. All right, we've got two DSPs. They're measuring 2 3/4 inches by 2 3/4 inches, and they're going to go on this front panel and the center panel. So again, I'm going to take off my instructions there. And add our glue. You could use any adhesive that's your favorite, so it doesn't have to be the liquid glue. Whatever you prefer. And I'm going to add that to the front. And this one will go in our center one. It doesn't really take so long to do this fun fold as long as you've got everything already cut and prepared. Just gluing everything. And that one in the center. And this one we're going to stamp on first. So let's set these aside. These are going to go just like this. So, but we're going to come back to that in a moment. I want to do our stamping. And put that away. That over there. Let's bring our stamps in. And I want big hugs. All right, I had these arranged different, so I've got to get my bearings here. We need that one and this one. And I'm missing one here I didn't put out here. All right, you mean the roll thing. I need that one out. It's right over here. I love the sayings in this Perennial postage stamp set. And let's get us a block. Reach over there. There we go. All right. Am I doing these with Memento Black? Yes, I am. Okay. We'll bring our stamp pad over here and we'll start stamping. I'm going to stamp our little postage square here that I've already die cut. And I'm going to stamp that off to the right side. That came out good. I had an extra one here just in case, but I'm not done yet. All right, and then we're going to use, well, let me go ahead and stamp the sentiment inside here while I'm using the black. I'm going to change colors here of our ink. All right, I'm going to put that off to the right side also. More towards the top edge. Close that up. We don't want to have an accident with it. And then I'm going to bring out our ink pads. And I didn't mark what colors. We're going to use Pretty Peacock and Gorgeous Grape. That's for another card. So I'm going to start out with the Pretty Peacock. And we're going to stamp the stem on this first one. I didn't have to ink up that whole thing. Let me do this over here. And all right. And then we need, I think I'll go ahead and stamp the stem on the inside. As long as I'm doing the ink colors, I'm also keep going all the same color and then go to the next color. Instead of bouncing back and forth. So the stem I'm going to use is this one. And we're going to place that on the left side also of our larger square. And we can close that up. I'm trying to find where's things at. Now we're going to bring our Gorgeous Grape and stamp our flowers. This one doesn't want to fly good. And I'm going to be using this cluster of little flowers here. And we're going to stamp them onto our stem. Yeah, I was going to do that twice, but I'm going to leave it as is. And then we've got our cluster of flowers that's going to go on this stem, and we're going to ink that up with the gorgeous grape also. And, oops, I think I stuck my finger in the ink pad. There we go. If you wanted to, you could kind of give it a shadow stamp off. Second and third generation, which is kind of fun. And close up our ink pad. Yep. Can't stay out of the ink. All right, and next we're going to go ahead and attach this to the back side of this onto our smaller card. I covered my glass mat because some people are saying that it kind of gives a glare and not really a clear picture. So I grabbed one of my papers and laid down over the top of it, and it still got the surface of the glass underneath to stamp on. So I like that because with the photopolymer, it gives you a little extra oomph right there so that they stamp really good. All right, now we're going to bring our large card back over here, and we're going to put some glue on the back side of that small Z fold. And there, I didn't want to come out very good there. I'm going to put a little extra to make sure it holds because it's going to get a little bit of use. And trying to figure out where I wanted to put it. Close my card and place this one over the top. And see, when you use a liquid glue, you've got some wiggle time that you can move your paper around. So in case it's not sitting quite where you want it, and that looks like it's crooked. Push it a little bit. There we go. Maybe I did. I think I did. All right, now we're going to fold this back onto that, and we're going to attach it to our front flap. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue. I could use tear and tape. Maybe I should use tear and tape. Let me get my tear and tape. I want to make sure it holds fast. But if you had time, you could use the liquid glue. I just don't want to wait for it to dry. So we're going to put a couple of strips of tear and tape along that one edge. You don't want to get way over because you're going to be sticking your card together. And probably one would have been enough, but let's go with the two. I've already got it down there. Oops. And I'm going to grab my Take Your Pick tool, and we're going to lift off that backing off of that. And I know I went over the side here a little bit with my tear and tape, but I'm just going to push that back over on top of itself instead of trying to cut it off or tear it off even. All right, now we're going to close that card and bring this back over here and press down. All right, there we've got our card, our fun fold. But we're not finished yet. We're going to add our big hugs to the side of that. So we're going to put a little bit of glue on that left side. It is the left side, yes it is. And then we're going to place that centered over the edge of that fold. And then I've done some die cutting. These are the postage stamps that we used. Let me show you which one I used for that center one. Kind of hard to see inside the thing. It's this one right here. And I hope they continue this set, this bundle, both of these, but I haven't heard anything yet, so I don't know. Hopefully. Let me get this stuck back down there. I haven't been able to play with it a whole lot, so I don't want it to leave yet. Let me grab the dies for the other flowers. Here's the dies for the other flowers, but I've already die cut those out already. And we've got this one. My tapes are sticking to my fingers. And this one. That one's the same. We've got this one. And this one. But let me show you the die that cuts those out. It's right here. I can get it out of there without disturbing everything. Come here, die. Well, now it's stuck to the tape now. All right, after all that work. But it cuts out two separate flowers at the same time. It cuts out this one right here. And then it cuts out, where did it go? I'm showing the same one here. Is it that one? Okay, it's this one. So one side cuts out this, and the other side cuts out these little flowers. So you've got two cuts at one time. So I think I explained that right. Words are hard sometimes. All right, I'm going to put that back in there so I don't want to lose that. And come here. All right, so let's start attaching our greenery. And I'm going to start. I should have put adhesive paper in the backs of this, but I didn't. I'm going to kind of dry fit these to get them where I think I want them to be. And then I'll come back in and give them all a haircut. Trim off the excess that I don't want showing. And let me see, something like that maybe. And this one in the center. And I've got an extra one here. All right, I'm going to bring in my fine tip glue bottle. I just filled this up with the Tombow after I used all the glue out of it from before. All right, let's start with this one first, and we're just going to put a few dots of glue here and there to hold it down. And so has everybody adjusted to our time change yet? If you're in daylight savings time, I like this time. I wish it would stay this time because I like it to be light longer during the day. It doesn't get dark so early. But I know some people don't care for it. My gosh, that truck is noisy. All right, we're going to glue that down. And then we're going to add this one. Jojo, you're supposed to be taking your nap. And we changed over our TV service yesterday. And so the guy was here for, I don't know, 2.5 hours. So she never did get her nap yesterday. And she was so tired last night. You should have seen her. She was wiped out. She's like a little kid. If she doesn't get her nap, she gets cranky. It's kind of funny. You can always tell when she hasn't taken her nap during the day. All right, and then this last one we'll also add. Just making sure my video is doing good. And that one's going to go right up the center. I'm going to put my cap back on my glue. All right, and grab our scissors, our paper snips, and we're going to nip those off. I'm just going to get the longer ones, leave those other ones hanging there. And I've already tied a bow with our twine, which is not that one, it's this one. Let me grab the right one here. It's our Baker's Twine Essentials pack. And you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different colors in here. So we're using the kind of beige one. I guess you'd call it vanilla. And I made a double bow already ahead of time with that. And I'm going to grab my mini glue dots and we're going to attach that. And take your pick tool to grab that off of there. And we're going to roll it in a tiny little ball. And place that right on our flower stems. And I've got one tail going up and one going down. Let me kind of rearrange him a little bit. And then we're going to press that down into our glue dot. I didn't put any gems on this one, so I think it's finished. So here's our first card, Big Hugs. And on the inside, you mean the world to me. Let me get this back down in camera view. Looks pretty good. I like it. Let me know what you think. All right, we're going to set that aside and put them somewhere we're not going to lose them. Let me just, I don't want them there. I got to rearrange a little bit here. I've only got so much work surface here to work with, so let me get rid of all my little notes here. I guess I could save those. Well, I'll just set them over here for now. Think about it if I want to save them or throw them away. Or I've got everything wrote down already, so I don't really need to keep them. And here's our extra scraps. Let's put those over there for now. Open up our surface here a little bit and go on to our next card. I've got one that we're going to do heat embossing with, so I might save that one for last. And I'm using the same bundles on all of these, so I won't show the bundles each time. So this one is a card that opens this way, and it says, "Thank you for your friendship." And then on the inside, I've got "Here for you always." So let's go ahead and do that. And get my instructions here. All right, make sure I'm looking at the right one. Well, yeah, I don't have any place to put nothing here. All right, so I'm going to get all my scraps out here. I'm just going to dump them all out of our plastic envelope. And our bow. Here's those gems that went along with that suite. Very pretty. And my scrap, the inside layer. All right, we're going to start out with our card base, which is our crumb cake, and it's 4 1/4 inches by 11 inches. And then I've scored it in the center at 5 1/2 inches. So let's go ahead and burnish that edge. All right, and then I've die cut using the largest postage die, which is this one, the Gorgeous Crepe. And our designer series paper, I've got 2 patterns of each. And I used the second to the smallest on the square. And this one for these, and that would be 1, 2, the third from the smallest on the rectangles. I put those back in here and set them aside. All right, we're going to take that Gorgeous Grape and we're going to add that to our card front and use our liquid glue here again. I don't have any jokes today. And nothing really exciting going on in my life. Just busy all the time, it seems like. All right, we're going to center that in the center of the card front. And all right. And then we're going to kind of position our rectangles where we want to put them. Which one we want to use. I think I want to put this one up here. This one down here. And we've got a little butterfly. We're going to put that up here. Oops, this one's upside down. And this one here. And I want to leave enough room to be able to stamp our sentiment in the center. So I'm going to go ahead and attach our designer series paper die cuts. So then I'll know how much room I got to work with to stamp our sentiment with. And Jojo, what are you doing? Making funny noises. Huh? Okay, get that straight. And we'll start with this on the bottom. All right, and then our last one. So I know today is not my regular day to be on here, so watch for me next Wednesday and I'll be back to my regular scheduled time. Sometimes we gotta rearrange things for appointments. A lot of them you don't get them when you want them. All right, and then I'm going to use the stamp that says thank you for your friendship, but I'm only going to use part of it here and then part of it down here. So I'm going to mask off what I'm not using. So I'm going to take my washi tape and we're going to cover the last portion of that, which is, I'm going to go with thank you for, and then your friendship is going to be covered up. So I'm going to add our washi tape right over that. And I need a little bit more here. Well, find the end of it. And Jojo's aggravating the cat. Jojo, take your nap. All right, and then I'm going to bring in my black memento ink, which is right here. And we're going to ink up thank you for. All right, make sure that's good and take off our washi tape. See if I can drop that in the trash without making a mess of my fingers. And we're going to stamp "Thank you for." I probably got my head in the camera. All right, and we're going to bring in our Simply Chamois to clean that off. If you don't have a Simply Chamois, you don't know what you're missing. Then clean up our stamps really good, and there's no chemicals involved. You just rinse it out in warm water and leave it damp, and you use it over and over. I keep mine in my stamp case. You would think it would turn mildew or whatever, but it doesn't. All right, let me pat that dry so my tape sticks. And now we're going to mask off that other portion. Jojo, come here. Okay, thank you for. We're going to cover that up. Let me use this side. It's a little bit straighter. And you can use washi tape or Scotch tape to cover this, to mask. I've just got all this washi tape from years past when it was so popular using on everything. So it's what I'm using. Use it, what you got. All right, now we're going to go with Your Friendship. Let me turn this around so I don't stamp it upside down. And ink that up. And take off our washi tape off of here. And dump it carefully in the trash can. It's right beside me and it's not letting go. All right, let me just go ahead and stamp this and we'll deal with it afterwards. Your Friendship. Okay. There. And so there we have our outside of our card so far. And I'm going to bring in my gorgeous grape, and we're going to stamp some butterflies. And that's what I've got the scrap paper over here for. And find my butterflies in here. They're here a moment ago. Here they are. It's got two butterflies that are attached. You stamp at the same time and die cut at the same time. So I'm going to see if I can fit them up here. It might be kind of small. Yeah, I don't want that. I need a bigger area. So we're going to move it on down here. And I'm going to stamp it twice because I'm going to need a large butterfly for the inside also. So stamp them both while I'm at it. And now I'm going to need the dies that cut out our butterflies. And those are right here. And I need a baby boss over here. Falling out of my chair. That wouldn't be a pretty sight. That would probably be better than a joke. Watch me fall. Jojo, leave her alone. Oh, the cat's chasing the dog. Jojo, no. Come here. Leave her alone. You're like kids. All right, now we're going to line up this butterfly die to cover both of them at the same time. And I'm going to use some washi tape that I have stuck up here to hold them. I don't want them moving and shifting on me when I'm trying to die cut them. So run that through. Gosh, I have a delay on my camera. I've already ran it through and it's just showing it. All So here's one little butterfly. We don't want to lose him. We're going to set him right there. And here's our other butterfly. Let's go ahead and run this through again and die cut this other set of butterflies. And sometimes they're kind of hard to see when you stamp color on color. All right, let's do that again. Hoping I'm not shaking the camera too much. And that noise is normal, so don't let that startle you. You can get this Stampin' and Cut emboss machine, the small boho blue. It's still in our online exclusives, so if you want the blue one, you can go grab it. And it also comes in the white for the other small one, and then the large one is also white. And the small one's good for the small stuff that you're going to do. But if you got large dies or large embossing folders, then you want to invest in the bigger machine. Okay. I'm going to put that die in there so I don't lose it. And we've got our butterflies here. And we're going to attach one butterfly, a large one, onto these flowers here. And I'm going to use... do I want a mini glue dot or do I want just glue? I think I'm just going to use the glue, which has disappeared. Here it is. And I'm just going to put a little bit of glue right in the center of that butterfly. And I kind of folded up the wings a little bit to give it some dimension. I think I got a glue booger on there, so I need to probably get rid of. Well, come on. Yeah, I think I've got it stuck up here. And now the glue booger won't let go of my fingers. I'm afraid it's going to gush out of there and give me way too much. There it is. It kind of did. But maybe it won't cause a problem. And we're going to place that onto the flowers on this side. And I don't think I'm going to use the little one. I'm just going to use the larger one. And then I'm going to take one of these gems. These are called the Purple Fine Shimmer gems. And those are also on that page 23 of the mini catalog. So let me grab a little embellishment. We're going to place that onto our butterfly. Yeah, I want this color. It's kind of got different shades of purple in here, so you can kind of pick and choose. Oops, and it moved on me. Let's switch you right up there. Stay there. Okay, and then we're going to bring in a bow that I've already made. This is a triple bow that I made from the same twine, and I'm using the darker. Oh, did I? No. Yeah, it is. No, it ain't. This is regular linen thread that I'm using. Okay. Kind of look the same. The linen thread. And I made a triple bow. So we're going to place that down here. And glue dots. Yeah, we're going to grab one of those off of there. And again, we're going to roll that into a little ball. And then we're going to place it. Well, yeah, we need to put it over here on the flowers. All right. Oh, and I need those gems back over here. We're going to add two more in between there. So you want odd numbers. You got one in the butterfly. And now we're going to get us a large one. And put that there. And then a smaller one. And place that right next to it. So there we got our odd numbers, 3s. So here's the front of our card, and let's work on the inside of our card. And I've got the second largest die here, and we're going to stamp our sentiment, which is, what did we use? Here for you always. Okay, let's this one here. So we need our black Memento ink again. Ink that up. And just to make sure it's got good ink coverage, I'm going to stamp on there one more time. And stamp it up in your upper center. Now we got a little smudge there, but I'm not going to worry about it. We're going to cover it with a butterfly anyway. We're going to grab one of those butterflies and we're going to place that right there so it'll hide that little smudge. And take our glue. We'll glue him down. Cover up that smudge. It's all better. And then we're going to attach that to the inside of our card. Get that glue flowing. There we go. Make sure I got my card right. Yeah. I have been known to put them upside down before, so I'm just making sure. And get that centered. And my bracelet's catching on stuff here. And I got something sticky there. What have I got there? Let me bring my glue eraser out here and get rid of that adhesive. I don't know where it came from. I must have touched something. All better. Okay, so here we have our second card. It says, thank you for your friendship. It's got that butterfly and that bow. And then on the inside, we've got another butterfly right there, and it says, here for you always. Okay, so that's card number 2. And let me get my surface cleaned up here a little bit. Get rid of all the scraps that we don't need. And I'm going to put that away for now. And some extra butterflies right there. We'll just push them aside for now. Okay, so here's our third card. And I'm going to change this one up. Instead of coloring the butterfly, I'm going to leave it white as it comes. I just thought maybe it might go with the other things better. So we're going to change it up just a little bit. So here's the front of the card. It says, here for you always. And then on the inside, I've got, I know you will get through this. So it's a real good card for support for somebody that might be going through a trying time right now. All right, we've got Lost Lagoon is going to be our card base. Let me get all these pieces out here. All right, so it's 4 1/4 inches by 11 inches, and then it's scored in the middle at 5 1/2 inches. So we're going to burnish that really good. It looks like it folded a little crooked. No, that's right. Set our card over here so we can look at it. And instead of going this direction, I'm going to change it up and we're going to have it so it's opening this way. I don't know what you'd call that. I don't think it's got a name. All right. And again, we're using the Designer Series paper. And I cut that out using the, which size did I use? Is it the largest size? Yeah, I used the largest size die to cut that out with. And trying to keep things in a little bit of order here. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that down to the front of our card. Take your nap, Jojo. And we're going to place that centered on the front of our card base. And it looks pretty good. All right, I need to get my measurements out here. Okay, then I've got a strip of the Designer Series paper, but I'm going to use the back side, the green, and that's 1 inch by 4 3/4 inches. And we're going to set our card base aside because we're going to emboss, heat emboss on this. So let me get all my things out here. I've got our embossing toolkit and my embossing buddy. We're going to just powder up our Designer Series strip there to make sure that we don't get any static cling on it, to make the powder stick where we don't want it to stick at. And it comes with our toolkit comes with the tray, reversible tweezers, and a brush, and the embossing buddy all come together. So that's back in the back of our annual catalog with the, I think it's with our accessories. I think that's where it is. So I've got my Versamark ink. I've got our white embossing powder. And we'll grab our stamp that we're using. And we've got to clean that off because we used that to stamp our previous card. So I don't want to transfer ink into my Versamark. So I'm going to clean that off real quick. And pat it dry. All right, and now we're going to do some magic here. It's out here for you always. And when I think I've got enough, then I go back and get a little extra more. I want to put a paper underneath this. So I've got some scrap paper here that we're going to use so I can catch the powder and put it back in our container. All right, so I'm going to stamp this off to the right side of our 1 inch strip. And it's kind of crooked. But I don't have another piece of paper cut. Yeah. I don't know. I might end up messing this up. Give me a tissue here. I'm going to try to get rid of that and restamp it. Yeah, that came off, I think. I think we're in luck here. The tissue's wet from something. I had a cup of water over there. I guess that's what's sweating against it or something. All right, so let's powder this down again. Let's try this again. Maybe we'll get it straight this time. And that's my challenge, getting things straight. I don't know what it is about it. Okay, put my head in the camera. Let me bring this down a little bit so I can see it better. Hopefully this one's better. Yeah, I think that one's better. I think we got it. We got it. We got it. All right, so I'm gonna, I don't need my tweezers. We're going to use a white embossing powder. I've got a lot of powder in here, so let me knock that off. I don't want it transferred into my embossing powder if I can help it. And pour some of that on there. Tap it. Let's go a little bit extra. And I see I've got some where I don't want on it, so I'm going to take my brush and clean that off with it. Got a little bit of streak up here. It's stuck there that we don't want. All right, cover up our embossing powder before we bring our heat gun over here, or we shall have a mess. And I'll turn that on. Might be a little bit noisy, so I apologize. But here's where the magic begins. I'm going to watch that melt. Not sure if we're on camera. You can tell when it's done is when it's all shiny. It doesn't take long. Put it on the back just to straighten the paper. Okay. So put that down. And I want to brush off this powder. And I'm going to put that away. Now we can bring this in again, and we're going to put that across our designer series paper, and not in the middle, but it's kind of more towards the bottom. And I'm going to center that. See if I can get that straight. And press that down. And I'm going to set that over here out of the way. And then I'm going to grab my Lost Lagoon ink pad. And this is one of our old ink pads I haven't replaced with the new yet. And it still works, so I haven't changed it. So if it's not broke, don't fix it kind of thing. All right, I'm going to bring my dies back over here. And we're going to do that postage one. And where did it go? It's, my dies are falling all apart. I'm going to take this little die here, and we're going to use it as our stamp. So what I've done is I've stuck a glue dot on the back side of it, and we're just going to grab, well, grab a block here, acrylic block, and we're going to place that down on that. What if this is big enough? Let me get a bigger one. I want to make sure that it's got full coverage. So we're just going to stick that onto our block. Make sure it's there good. You might have to add another glue dot to it if you want. And then we're going to ink that up in our pad. Oops, I'm getting it all over. And we've got our scrap paper here. And we're going to just stamp it. And it kind of made a mess, but I'm thinking it might be okay. And which label did I use? I used this one here, this little label here. And we're going to die cut that out. So I'm going to bring my small machine back over here and grab some washi tape to hold that in place. And close that up so we don't get ink on our project. Okay, put that one over here. Bring this back over. Oops, that's kind of noisy. Sorry. Get our plates over here. My husband got his lawnmower back yesterday, his zero turn, so he's out there playing with it, I guess. I'm not sure what he's doing. But he always chooses my days of my life to run the mower or the blower or something noisy. I don't know. I've told him before, but it just doesn't He doesn't know what I'm talking about, I guess. It interferes with my videos. Oh, well. Okay. And now we're going to pull that off and take our washi tape off. And there's our little canceled out stamp die. So now we're going to attach that to our upper right-hand corner of our card. And it does have a butterfly in the center of this. You can't really tell, but you want to make sure that you got it going the right direction. I'm thinking, yeah, looks like it is. So you can't really tell though, so somebody wouldn't really notice it if it was upside down. I wouldn't. Okay, and now we're going to choose which butterfly we want to use. So these are the paper butterfly accents, and you get 40 of them. So you shouldn't run out of butterflies anytime soon. So I'm going to pull this out, and we've got this design. We've got this design. And I don't know if you can tell, we've got a smaller one. And this is a larger one that I used on my other one. So I'm thinking I'm going to grab that same butterfly out of there. And I'm going to turn him over so he's facing the right direction. I think I need to put these in something else because they're kind of delicate. So I'm going to maybe grab a stamp case and put these in so I don't lose them. We'll do that later today. So I think I like the white better instead of the colored. What do you think? This one's a Lost Lagoon that I used my blending brushes on to just put some color on it. But I'm thinking I like the white one better. It kind of shows up better than what this one does. So I'm going to stick to the white. You could go either way. You could either color them or leave them as they are. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the back side of him. And I'm wondering if I'm live today. I might have hit the wrong button again. I hope not. But I'm not seeing anybody. Unless everybody's really busy today. I probably hit the wrong one. So if I did, I apologize if you're watching the replay. Technology is a challenge sometimes, especially when you're my age. It's hard to learn new things. I know these kids, they can do it as a whiz and they never have a problem, but I don't know, when you get up in age, it's harder to do all this technology. And I'm trying to get a little bit of glue on that antenna of that butterfly, and I don't want it to come oozing out of there. There we go. And just put that down so it lays down. It doesn't catch on nothing. All right, and I've got a white baker's twine, and we're going to, it's a double bow. We're going to add that to the bottom here with our mini glue dots again. And use my Take Your Pick tool again to grab that mini glue dot off of there. And roll it in a ball. And we're going to place that kind of centered. And then we're going to put it right there. And I probably should have gone down a little bit farther. Let me put it right there so it doesn't cover up the words. And that little bow there needs to cooperate and stay there like it's supposed to. Put the glue dots away. And then we're going to bring in some bling, which is our basic rhinestones, or rhinestone basic jewels is what it's really called. And we're going to grab 3 of the medium sized, and we're going to place them on the body of our butterfly just to give it some extra bling. I feel like my stomach's going to growl. You might hear a lion going on here in a minute. All right, and I didn't grab a paper for the inside. Well, we've got some right here. And I need our designer series paper also. So give me a moment here. We'll get the inside. It's 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches, our basic weight. And let me bring over our designer series paper. And I want to go with the same as this. So trying to figure out which one that is. This one? No, it's not that one. I think it must be this one. Yeah, it's this one. So bring in our paper trimmer again. And I'm going to cut that at 1 by 4. So use our cutting blade this time. And I'm going to go down to 4. Let's bring this back around. And I'm going to snip that off. And this is going to go right across our edge here. And stamp our sentiment on the inside, which is, what did I use? I know you will get through this. Did I have that one out? I'm not sure if I have that one out. I maybe didn't. Well, yeah, it's not in the case. It's got to be in here. Okay, it's right here. I know you will get through this. And I want to use the Lost Lagoon. And of course, I stuck my fingers in the ink. And I'm going to leave a little space on the side for our paper. So I'm going to put it right about there. Close that back up. Add our designer series paper to that left edge. Well, glue, are you acting up because I'm leaving the cap off of you? Probably so. It'll get over it. And we're going to place that, leaving a little edge on the left side. Make sure I'm straight. And now we can put that on the inside of our card. Okay. Well, that doesn't look very straight. There we go. Okay. Well, my sentiment ain't very straight either. All right. So it says, here for you always. And there's my bow messed up again. And I know you will get through this. So I'm crooked. I guess I could fix that, but I'll fix it later. Never fails. Okay, so here's our third card. I don't think I'm live. I think I pushed record instead. Yeah, it says recording. Oh, crud. Well, you'll be able to watch it after I post it, I guess. So I apologize that you're not able to watch me live. But watch the replay anyway, so you can see what I did. And I apologize. Here's our fun fold. Here's our second card. And then our third card. I'm trying to get them all in here. Okay. All right, so I'm glad that you're watching the replay and you can hit that share button and the like button. I'd appreciate that. And I will be back again next Wednesday, which will be the 20th of March already. And I'll be back at my regular time, 10:30 Central Time. Tell your friends, tell your family, set your alarm on your phone so you don't miss me. And until next week, y'all have a good rest of the week. And thank you for watching. Bye.